Welcome to Late Night Chats with Leighton, and this is a place where you can smoke, drink, and talk about whatever you want. But the majority of these conversations are going to be government conspiracies, so if we can keep it to that, I'll be happy. One of the things I'm going to start on the topic tonight is the UFO Roswell crash that happened in the 1940s. One of the things that bugs me is that I think about is there wasn't a lot of technology before that crash happened, and then the 60 years that followed that crash, there's been so many things that have come out of it that computers, mobile phones, microwaves, all sorts of stuff. And in the thousands of years before that crash happened, there was no technology and people had to pretty much live in the darkness. Yes, there was the radio and the, the telly that came in a wooden cabinet. Who wanted to watch that, UFO crashes. All of a sudden, we've got flat screen tellies, you know, amazing stuff. So, my point is something happened in the 1940s and the government covered it up. I mean, the thing came down. Let's just picture it, okay? You're a farmer in Roswell. You might work in the hot dog shop on the corner. Um, all of a sudden, you're having a nice Sunday afternoon, cooking hot dogs, putting a bit of mayonnaise, put a bit of mustard, bit of ketchup on your hot dog for your next customer. Out of the sky comes this huge thing crashing down into your back garden. You're thinking, oh my God, what is that? You go out, you investigate, you get a bit of debris, bring it back to your house, and you're like, what's this? You screw it up, you think, great, it's a bit of tin foil. Screw it up, it flattens itself out, and you're like, whoa, this isn't normal. 10 minutes later, the military show up, corner off the whole area, have a look at the crash site, and they're like, okay, guys, it's a weather balloon. It's not a UFO. It's a weather balloon. So by the time that happens, the paper's already gone to print. They've printed out their story, so the UFO crashes in Roswell. 2 hours after it crashes, they change their mind. It's a weather balloon. So the next day, the paper reports, sorry, mistake, wasn't a UFO, was a weather balloon. They got a picture of someone in the army holding a bit of metal that looks something like what a weather balloon will come out. Well, hello, if you were there and you saw it, you know what happened. And I guarantee if you went back to Roswell today and you spoke to some of the people that are still alive about what happened on that day, they'll tell you different. And I've got a pretty good idea about what that story is, And if you just, if you want me to tell you, I'm happy to. A UFO came down, it crashed, on the field. A lot of people saw it. They went out there, they tried to recover stuff, and they were frightened by what they saw. They came back, reported it. An hour later, the military shows up, crosses it all off, captures all the debris, gets the bodies, if there were any bodies. I don't know, I wasn't there. But if there were bodies, they take them away. They get all of the debris from the craft, they take it away to a military base. They realise this isn't from this planet. They all start panicking, change their story, release to the public it was a weather balloon, zilch. You never hear nothing from it again. Now, what they're doing in their bases is they're saying, they're sitting there thinking, wow, this is something we've never seen before. What are we going to do with this? This technology, where, this could really be life changing for a lot of people on the planet. So, what about if we back engineer what's crashed here, sell it off to the high corporate companies, and let them release it in small doses to the public so that they're ready for the technology that is thousands of year advanced? Sounds like a good plan, doesn't it? You know, you find something out, on the street, in the road that nobody knows about. Let's just say outside my house, I go out, I find something in the corner of the street. I think, crumbs, no one's ever seen this before. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to sell it all in one go, but what I'll do is sell it in little bits, and I'll make more money by selling it in little bits to people, so that at the end, when I've sold all the little bits, they can make this big piece of technology, and I'll make millions off it because I've worked my way up, and then I've all of a sudden these people come up with these new ideas about this product that was already available 60 years ago. You know, I'm betting that, you know, maybe a few companies are in on that, computer companies that have released, you know, up-to-date gadgets. You know, I'd imagine they've been around for years, and you know, they've pulled them out. You know, they've back-engineered certain technologies to get to this point. You know, computers, mobile phones, microwaves, cars. You know, everything like that. Anything that's electrical in your house, I'd imagine that would be back-engineered from what happened at Roswell in 1940. You know, you only got to think, before 1940, thousands of years people have been on the planet. And what kind of technology advancements happened before that? Not a lot. You know, you know, you probably had a telephone, you had a car and that sort of thing, but it was very basic. And once that crash happened, and they went away and back engineered things, there was this massive technology boom 60 years later, and here we are. You know, and I still think that the government's probably hid a lot of that technology because they don't want it to get out into the public, because they know if that got out, it could be life changing. I mean, you know, one of the things I really feel deeply about is that the government won't admit that there's been something from another universe, planet, or anything that's crashed here, because it will threaten religiousness and what people believe in, God. Um, it will threaten the economy, it will threaten the way people live and what people believe in. And if everyone found out that we weren't the only people in this universe, they would freak out. And I think that's why the government doesn't want to tell everyone, because they know that the backlash from it will be incredible. So I think we need to stick together, and you know, if you guys honestly think that something is going on here, that the government's covering up, they don't want us to know, you need to come forward and start the revolution. You know, you know, it's just not me and you sitting here talking about this. And there's hundreds, you know, there's hundreds of YouTube channels that are talking about it. Mr. Maverick Star, he's definitely onto something. You know, it's not about UFOs, but he's talking about the magnetic pole shift and what's happening with the Earth, and that we're definitely in some sort of cycle where the Earth is, it's not on a good way. And I think, you know, the people that are coming here, whether they're extraterrestrial, aliens, whatever you want to call them, I think they're coming here to try and help us and to try and sort it out. But our government is so greedy and money orientated, and they don't want their help. They're pushing them away. And I think the sooner we realise that they're actually here to help us and that we can work with them to do the things that we need to do, and to save us from whatever's going to be coming over the next few years, some sort of catastrophes. You know, there was the 2012 catastrophe that never happened. You know, and it makes people look silly, but there's definitely something going on in this planet in terms of the weather, the magnetic pole, different beings visiting us from different solar systems. Um, I think the government's living on the moon, which is another topic for another Friday late night session. The government's living on Mars. I think there's, you know, we went to the moon in the 1940's, and you know, have we ever gone back and filmed it as well as that and shown people what the astronauts did up at there at the time? No, not really. So why not? Why can't we go up there every day of the week? It happened 60 years ago, 50 years ago. Neil Armstrong went up there. He's dead now, and it almost seems that he was the only person to ever go up there and actually do anything of any value. So, you know, what I'm trying to